I volunteered as a rover driver back in January of this year and was immediately suspicious when some anonymous conspiracy nut found my email address and approached me. At first, I ignored him, but soon discovered that he was my only way to get into the driver program. So that's how I became aware of Cryptex81. Frankly, I just ignored his emails after I got into the program and started my research on our Tokus Island. But then I began seeing a persistent pattern with the research requests I was getting from XRI personnel. My fields of interest and expertise are broad, encompassing everything from botany, zoology, anthropology, geology, but as soon as I encountered archaeological evidence there, I started getting very strange messages from XRI. They first told me to ignore that particular site and move on. Not long after, they interrupted my first long-term research project studying tidal patterns, asking me to go chasing after some pet project of another XRI scientist. In fact, this happened for every single research project I attempted. I have done lunar studies, motobiote territory mapping, archaeological investigations, and more, and during every single study have been told to stop my research and go do something else. These people say they want researchers, but I don't believe it. They want minions. They have a hidden agenda and are actively trying to shut down any genuine research being conducted.
My areas of research are along the lines of astronomy, geology, and linguistics. I've been doing detailed analyses of the Epsilon Prime solar and lunar cycles, and plan to finish a working model over the coming months. I've also been analysing the artifacts, the technology, and although a lot of research remains to be done, I'm developing some, radical theories about what we are seeing here. With regards to Cryptex, at first I thought he was the usual sort of conspiracy nut. But I began having second thoughts when I noticed that XRI started labelling some of my data as classified. In other words, they were actively suppressing my data and research. That was the clincher for me. You just don't do that if you are serious about science. So I put my hacker skills to work, and got a bit of help with getting root access to the XRI servers. And I've been working up a subroutine for our rovers so that we can retain full access to our data. I mean, how else can we do serious research if we can't control it?
I was invited into the XRI program by my friend here, and I too found that there were endless obstacles between me and a rover driver's seat. So when I was contacted by a somewhat shady conspiracy nut, I hesitated a bit, but soon gave in to temptation. Not that I trusted this Cryptex person, but it got me out there. Let me explain. I grew up with the Eagle comic and Dan Dare, bringing me the promise of space travel and of exploring places that no one had been to before. After that came Larry Niven, Robert Heinlein, Arthur Clarke, the movie 2001, all great stuff and very inspirational. I remember a Ted Thomas story called The Far Look, a term for people whose vision didn't stop at the horizon, but who looked beyond it. I think that those of us who are drawn to the extrasolar program have the far look. That's why I think that the XRI should cut back on its hidden agenda, stop sending us off on wild goose chases, and let us spend more time on the things that matter: the exploration, mapping this new world, and investigating what we find. I mean, we've seen wonderful things and just passed them by. No stopping to see how they are made or even what they're made of. That's just wrong. Despite XRI's distractions, I now have a passable map of Artokos Island, which has let me help with some of the animal tracking studies. But it's very frustrating that there's nothing I can do with the rovers we have to investigate the other big things we've come across, beyond looking at their seamless shapes. I'll bet XRI have more tools and instruments available in the lander that they're not telling us about. In an otherwise forgotten episode of Babylon 5, the writer J. Michael Straczynski has Jeffrey Sinclair say of the whole of human achievement, "All of this was for nothing, unless we go to the stars." I've always felt the same way. We must get off the planet and spread out among the star systems. For science, and not for hidden agendas. XRI, tell us what's going on, don't keep us in the dark.
After becoming concerned about XRI obstructionism, we formed a loose team to help support each other with our project and combat the XRI attempts to distract us from the real work to be done. We urge our fellow rover drivers to join us by forming other resistance cells and continuing to do thorough, long-term research studies on Epsilon Prime. We cannot allow the XRI agenda to distract us from our duty to science and posterity. Hey, how did you get here? Where's my cameraman? Leave that alone! Stop that! Stop!
Damn, where did she go? Damn, where did she go? Damn, where did she go? Damn, where did she go?